Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Tonight we got a great show planned for you guys. The mic good?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Look at me funny.
No, you good. You good.
We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Tonight we're talking about something I think is super important that most entrepreneurs need to think about, because I did a video. It was a while back when I did the video where I was talking about people that are close to them working in that business. Like you start as a new business owner or entrepreneur, you have new business entrepreneur budgets. So typically 9 times out of 10, you're going to have hire or have somebody help you that's a close family member or friend, or people that whoever you can get in there. And a lot of times it's going to be more so the detriment to your business,
right?
Because that person cares about you, that person loves you, but that person has no business in your business. And so what we're going to talk about tonight is how to build your own team for your business. How to build your own team for your business, because a lot of times people know they don't know,
right?
Because I got in a cigar spot. I think I know how it should be ran,
right?
Because I smoke cigarettes, drink a little, yak or some scotch in there and everything. And like this is how I like to get served. This is how I want to have my establishment,
right?
But that doesn't mean that I know anything about forecasting, purchasing, displaying, far as the managing, operations, how the system's supposed to go. And far too often people get into businesses because they think they know it and they have no damn clue about the business. They know the product, right?
Right. They
they know the product. I know how to make cakes. I know how to, have a restaurant. I know how a bar looks, but they don't know the whole structure and the system with it. And so having the wrong people, when I talk about your team in place, can destroy everything. Can destroy everything.
Okay.
I have my wife working at the front desk of the restaurant. People walk in. She's rude. She's texting. She's not people friendly. She's not even listening to folks when they saying they have issues and stuff like that. Now I got all kind of I got all kind of negative comments and all this other stuff posted online. The reviews. Thanks for the reviews and stuff. And a key component I have people that are not going to be retained to come back to my business. I was going to spread negative words to their family and friends not to come to me. And it happens so much. But again, I understand why, because a lot of times when we say, I just started off, I can't afford to do that.
Right.
What was the business the other day? I forgot why. I was at some spot, man, and I seen that they was, guy was telling me how business was going slow and everything like that. And I was looking at him like, hey, man, you got to put some change in his advertising.
Right.
Because, we know advertising is the lifeblood of your business. And a lot of times people, because you can open the business up, we talk about it again, you don't need an accountant, you don't need a lawyer. You do, but you don't even start up.
Right.
And because people think we have social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all that, I can post on TikTok and that'll be enough. That's bullshit.
That's true.
You have to be able to put money out there to drive people to come to your establishment. Uncle K76 said, preach. I appreciate you tuning in. But that's the thing, you have to be able to drive that traffic to your business. And a lot of times, again, people just kind of don't look at it, take it serious. Why? Because it's not stopping you from starting a business.
Right.
And because you can post on social media, and for some reason we think because our family and friends like our posts, that's reaching people.
That everybody's like,
they ain't spending no money with it.
Right.
I need the people who I don't know coming in.
Right.
That's who I need. I don't need support by likes and shares. I need cash.
Right. That's all they're gonna get this business afloat.
You get me?
Right.
And people, that's when you see the post a month later. Folks don't support your business. It's not the people, it's your ass.
Right.
You got to be able to sit there and drive that traffic to you. Right. And so that's why I want to have that conversation again tonight. How to build your own team, build a team for your business, to give you guys some instructions and strategies on how to get the right people to create the right system to create the best successful business for you. Okay. Before we get started again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. We talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, investing. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. So whatever platform you're checking us out now, especially on Instagram, TikTok, remember, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Over 1,000 videos on the YouTube channel, and even if you have to leave, you can see this whole show in its full entirety, along with all the other videos that we had before. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man.
Another icy, cold winter Thursday. Did you make it through the ice storm?
Yeah, absolutely. Me and my son William, we was out that cold. My fish, they survived. But I'm gonna give a big shout out to everybody that got snowed in with their surprise boobs. Who wasn't supposed to get.
You ain't supposed to be
like, yeah. Can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You've been poking at her. You stop.
Now.
Just grab your arm and say, come on. Yeah. Yes.
It's cold outside.
And accidentally stranded.
Not like accidentally being stranded.
I'm stuck. What we gonna do?
At the right house.
Boy. Everybody be safe and everything. Also want to give a shout out to Mother Producer Sleep 316. What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Reek?
Hey, a couple things I want to just tell everybody. Big shout out to the YouTube channel, guys. I want to thank everybody. We hit 75,000 subscribers. 75,000. So I want to thank everybody for following us and support. But if you have not, make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You can Google it, Mr. Short Dollar. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. We hit 75,000 subs. Quickly, tax season is coming. I did a quick video about tax season. I want to tell you guys real quick. You know, I was talking last night about other marketing, and I don't like talking about nobody's business.
Right.
But you know, the marketing, maximum refund, up to $7,000 and stuff like that.
What?
Listen, guys, whoever you go to, I wasn't doing no advertising myself. I'm over 20 years in the game. We're taking new customers, but I'm good. But whoever you go to, make sure that they will be there if you need them. Make sure that's what you need to make sure of, because pretty much everybody the same. Unless somebody gonna make some false shit and give you this whatever you make, you're pretty much gonna get the same thing.
Right.
I mean, there's different levels as far as an experience standpoint, where people might say, "Hey, I got this and I know this, know that." But for the most part, you know, that's gonna vary, right? But the key thing is, if something go wrong, can you call them in May, June, July, August, September?
Right.
If you get that letter, if you need some documentations, if you have to get something amended, make sure they can be there, because I'm telling you, a lot of these people are fly by night.
Right.
And I appreciate it. I thank God. We made a lot of money last year on people that went to folks who phone ain't working
and had the wrong zero.
Yeah.
Had the wrong zero on that tax return.
Yes.
And the man called.
Yeah. So I just want people to just be very, very, the key thing, make sure you got somebody that's okay, I ain't saying not give anybody a chance, but you want to make sure they're credible. And if something happens, you can come back to them. Not they just there for tax season.
Right.
It's a gazillion of them.
Right.
It's a gazillion of them. And I get it. But definitely, like I said, the up to $7,000 shit, I ain't never seen it.
Right.
I've seen all of the same banks. The max I've seen probably 1,200.
I
ain't never seen that $7,000. But everybody got the same marketing material.
Right.
But everybody the same banks. Right.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'm just giving advice. Make sure you deal with somebody that if anything happens, you can go back and talk to them.
Reputable.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, like,
I'm sure doing your taxes probably not gonna work out. She just learned how to do them last week.
Well, usually with a tax business, I'm just, we'll get back on topic, but usually with a tax business, say you got 5 people in the office, 1 or 2 of them actually know their stuff. Right?
Okay.
But the key thing is, when you're dealing with some places, you just want to make sure that they'll be there. Some people just there January, April, they might be doing it here. They might got like a little spot at the grocery store, some little office they doing for a couple months. I mean, I wouldn't be I would be aware of that.
Okay.
Because when you need something, and stuff happens, right?
All the time.
You want to be able to call somebody that has some kind of recourse, right? So that's just my little advice to everybody. I ain't talking about nobody business. I had to start. I remember shit I went through in 01 and 02, that whole chili circuit and stuff like that. And I understand people being skeptical and people getting chances. I get all that part, but I'm just saying, as a consumer, and we all family, you know, from people that are in business and the people that are consumers. Just that's one of the biggest things I would tell people. Make sure you deal with somebody that if you need them, they'll be there. Right? Damn that max refund shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lastly, guys, I apologize. The book Short Dollars and Cents be out soon. You know what I'm saying? And everything. I got held up with a couple things, but it'll be coming out soon within the next couple of weeks. I promise you that and everything. But again, thanks to everybody for the 75 subs on YouTube and everything. So definitely I appreciate
75,000.
75,000.
Not 75.
75,000
with 3 zeros in the comma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, we've even with this month, guys, we've had I think almost 20 different grant opportunities you guys take advantage of. I think yesterday and today. No, yesterday was it today and tomorrow. It's going to be 2 or 3 different grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. A $13,000 grant for entrepreneurs and a $10,000 grant. We got more coming. So just make sure you go to the YouTube channel, hit the $sign to subscribe, and also hit that bell to get a notification each time we upload a new video. Now going back to
what's going on 25 Forever One. Appreciate you tuning in, brother.
Okay. Appreciate it. Going back to the night show, we're talking about again building the right team for your business, and a couple things. Why is it crucial to have the right team for your business, guys? Number one, you want to make sure you got a shared vision. As a business owner, I want everybody to understand what I'm trying to project, right? Because I might be let's take a basic business, car wash, right? Okay. I have a vision what I want my car wash to be. You got car washes that are the dollar car wash, the mid where they pay $20-$30, and you got some to do the $100. You got some to do more than that. They're supreme detail. Right. My vision is what I want to lay out. Everybody need to understand. Now we're not doing no. If I'm high end over $100, I don't need you trying to cut corners and miss this, that, and that. Over the level, super clean, super detailed, everything's done. If I'm the $10 car wash guy, we know we squirt, wipe off the dirt, towel dry, get them out of here. Right? My vision is my vision, and I got to make sure that whatever the people that are working with me and for me understand my vision, not their vision, not what they think that. Hey, well, you know what? I worked at such and such. We used to do this. Or when I was at this place, we did that. Damn that shit. Right. Like now, I can take feedback, you got suggestions, but this is what we're doing. I hear you, and again, I probably shouldn't say it that you can be open to listen to people, but but that ain't what I'm trying to do. Right. I tell people all the time, I'm not the cheap tax man. I'm the good tax man. The good tax man, right. I'm not the cheap tax man. Right. I see people, we doing taxes for $50, $100. No hell. Right. You got to pay rent. Right. But that's the thing about it. Everybody got their lane, right? And so you need to make sure that you got people. When we start talking about building that team, why it's so crucial. Number one, you got to share vision. You want to have complementary skills. What I mean by complementary skills, you are who you are. You got strengths and weaknesses. So you want to make sure that you got people in place to help you that can compensate for your weaknesses. And you can kind of complement with theirs, right? Well, things they show there, right? And y'all can have shared strengths and y'all can just make a stronger business, right? But we want to make sure that those complementary skills, like everybody bringing different stuff to the table, right? We don't need a team full of chiefs, right? That generally happens. What I always tell you, man, I be in leadership positions. You want to get something done? We get a whole room full of preachers. Right. Well, I got this. I think we should do. Ain't get nothing done. Everybody is telling everybody else. Right. Yeah. You can't have all these chiefs. Right. Everybody got to know their role. Be cool with play their position. Be willing to play it. That's the part that gets a stick, especially when to me. I don't mean cut you off, especially with entrepreneurs. People not knowing how to play their roles. Not they start out good, but they start thinking that okay, I can do this better than him. I'm gonna go over here to the fries when you're supposed to be warming buns. You get what I'm saying? Like I can cook fries better. He cook them for 2 seconds too long. I'm gonna take them out. They're gonna be crispy. The boss gonna come in. He gonna sit. He gonna put me on fries, and that's not what you're there for. The easiest thing I coach for 22 years, and I always say, do your job. When you look at just look at the playoffs and the games, you see a guy wide open on a pass. He's wide open. Somebody blew an assignment. They might have been peeking over here looking at something else. but that wouldn't hit y'all to do that.
Right.
I'm cheating over here to do this, that, and that. Now, I might have an opportunity to make a play, but my job is to just stay focused on him. And that happens so many times. People get off of it like, hey, you got to stay in what you're supposed to do. And I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And we can all kind of like share ideas and stuff like that. But for us to be a team, everybody got to play, to your point, play their position. And you just got to make sure that everybody can, bring something to the table. And we start talking about that with for entrepreneurship. I understand that the key thing with that, looking at it, when you just think about yourself, you go to a bar, go to a restaurant. And I always go back to, I think one of the biggest things, two things get missed. I understand people have these budgets. They can't, they just got to get somebody to work. The other thing is, too, I don't think people really invest in, either they pay for it or they take the time themselves to train people. Not train somebody how to take an order, but really train a person to not take orders, but to how to be a waiter, or how to be a waitress, or how to be a bartender, how to make folks feel good, how to, put them in a position where they feel like, okay, man, I'm having fun, giving them an opportunity for an experience. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. We're so quick to, when you start talking about the complementary skills, we're so quick to put people in a certain position and they ain't ready. Yeah. And because we just needed someone there. Right there. And it ends up being a detriment to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't think that's just a case for just entrepreneurs, though. I think larger businesses have that same problem, what you just spoke of right there, because I got a story about when we went to Chevy dealership for Rica's truck and how the guy in the repair department was just so rude and just so, no customer service skills whatsoever. Like the truck was up there for a week before they even said, oh, we don't work on trucks that, built in those dates, that date. So so you had a truck up here for a week before you even tell me y'all don't even work on the truck. Yeah. And then when you talk to the guy, he want to cut you off and he's real short, and the customer service is just terrible. Like, and I don't think that's just a thing with just something that's just a part of small business entrepreneurs. It may happen more there, but I think as we go along, a lot of these bigger stores and a lot of these bigger businesses have the same issue as well.
What's the difference with that, though? What's the difference? The bigger business, Chevy can recover easier than you as an entrepreneur. Me giving you a bad experience at the dealership, right? It can be detrimental to me, but because of a volume perspective, I can recover, I can fix it and stuff. Right. As an entrepreneur, I might can't. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily getting the volume in. I'm not. That's the biggest difference. You know what I'm saying? So, and that doesn't make it right. Right. But they can recover better. Right.
They're a small business.
Yeah. I can't afford to take that. They can take 10 L, right? I can't take number 1 or 2. Right. You see what I'm saying? Especially depending on what you're doing, right? If you're doing a kind of business where you like contracting or whatever and stuff like that, somebody being rude, hey man, my garage ain't finished. Y'all supposed to work on my roof 2 weeks. I can't, that stuff ain't happening. I ain't getting no contracts. Because now they don't start putting the stuff on what you got next door or whatever. You start putting those reviews on there, right? On the Google reviews. Yeah. I can't afford to do that. Right. But it's more everybody that drives a Chevy, which is millions of people, they have to go to the dealership. So I'm leery, but that might just be his story. Right. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So it's more difficult that's a great point. But that's the thing about it. That's the seriousness people got to understand. You ain't gonna get. The dealers can get 10 chances. You might not get number 1 or 2. Right. And that's the thing about it, especially when we start talking about you're in a position where you're trying to grow your business, right? Because we in Atlanta. Right. Everybody's a boss.
Everybody's boss.
You know what I'm saying? Business. You got to make sure that you protect yourself. That's why building the right team is super important. And another thing we start talking about, why is it crucial? Scaling and growing. When I say scaling and growing, you understand that you got 2 arms and 2 legs, right? It's max capacity. You can only do maybe build 4 widgets a day, right? It's only 4. All day long, I'm working 8-hour shifts. I can only build 4. If I get 3 people in, that means we can build 12. Right. If I get 5 people in, we can build 20. That's the whole thing when we start talking about scaling and growing, right? Because the more arms, the more legs, the more output we can have, right? Now the expenses increase in correlation with doing that and stuff like that. So it'll jump with our revenue. But the thing of it is, you understand quickly the max you can do. You can sit down, I can do this, I can do that, and you'll kill yourself. You'll kill yourself, and the product or service that you're doing, the value start diminishing because you're overexerting yourself trying to do too much. You're trying to post, you're trying to build, you're trying to cook, you're trying to market, you're trying to advertise. You're trying to do all kind of shit that you ain't got no damn business doing.
Right.
So you have to sit here and start sometime looking at that, right? And don't trip. We're going back to, I know a lot of times the money. We're gonna talk about that.
Right.
So I just want people to understand. And last, why it's so important or crucial for you to have the right team in place. You got to make sure that it's kind of like what we talked about before, having that cultural fit. Cohesive teams, fosters collaboration and productivity.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody on the same unit, because like I said, this right here, that slap of steam, but that punch will knock you out.
Right.
If everybody's on the same page and everybody's bought into it, that's when you win a Super Bowl. That's when you win the NBA championship. You know what I'm saying?
Are you a proponent of team meetings, like say if you own a business, whatever the business may be, and the morning y'all get together, have a conversation about the day and what needs to happen, how it needs to happen, who needs to do what, and what that person needs to be to accomplish this goal we all have set for the day? Are you a fan of that? Like, you know how sometimes restaurants have, or before they open the door, they have a meeting with the host and the wait staff and the cook and chef and all that. Mm-hmm. When you talk about fine dining and letting them know, how things are, what needs to happen, silverware needs to be shot and make sure it's on the left or right. How do you feel about those? And then we're talking about every day one of those type of meetings.
Well, it depends on what kind of business you got. Mm-hmm. Some businesses you can sit here and just look. We can meet. We might need to meet daily because we got to go over stuff. Hey, y'all, listen. This is what's going on. This, things, especially if you're in a business or industry where things are changing rapidly around you, mm-hmm. i.e. vendors, i.e. customers, i.e. situations. Mm-hmm. But if it's something where it's redundant, you're doing the same thing all the time, you might just got to meet once a week, once a month, once a quarter,
okay.
Depending on what it is. But I think that's dictated depending by the situation. Like I said, if it's something that's constantly changing, this, that, and that, I'll give you a perfect example. Say if you're working at like a airport.
Okay.
Well, you got constantly new regulations, threats, people, and all that stuff changing. You might want to kind of have some little status meeting. Hey, what's going on? We get these things out.
Okay.
But if we're sitting there saying like, okay, just say like it's an accounting firm. Mm. We know we got to do. Hey, we got to you need to have these stuff done at the end of the month. These stuff done by this quarter. We don't need to meet as much. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Now you might have, depending on how your leadership structure set up, like that can be. We talk every month or something like that, but it just depends on the industry.
Okay, depends on the business and
yeah.
Okay,
yeah, but I think it has more to do with the actual the stuff you can't control, like the people, the situations and stuff like that. Because you might need to, things change from day to day, right? Right. So those kind
of uncontrollable.
Yeah. Police, you see it sometimes. So if you're in a business where you're gonna have things can change every day. Yeah, you probably need to have some kind of briefing every day with doing that, right? Okay. But if it's consistently kind of like the same thing, it ain't necessarily needed. Just put stuff out, and if it's something new or some, whatever come out, you can just do as is.
I thought it would be like a way of keeping the team cohesive, I guess.
Well, it depends on your team set up.
Okay.
A team don't have to be shoulder to shoulder.
Okay.
Our team can be spread out over the country.
Okay.
We just need to make sure that the team that we have in place is going to be able to create the vision and meet the goals that we're trying to do.
The objectives.
Yeah. So exactly. We mean the objectives and everything. We're fine. We don't have to be side by side.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I get saying.
So, because that's the thing about it. Like, if you're working, just say if you got a whole team nationwide, this guy taking care of advertising, this guy's taking care of marketing, he's doing the legal, he's doing the managing, all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we know what we're doing.
Okay.
Now, so we don't have to be side by side on this particular project, right? Project manager, he might have a different points where he might talk to legal twice a week. He might talk to marketing, every week, advertising once a month. That's how they do that.
That's how they do it.
They might do that, but you don't have to be with doing it. Now, if it's to your point, let's say we all working in this fast food restaurant. We probably need a brief every month.
Okay.
Every morning we need to do it, right? Okay. We might have a quick briefing what's going on. Hey man, what are y'all seeing? Customers doing this, customers doing that. We're working in this, we're working in a bar. Hey, I just want to kind of let y'all know. Now you have shift changes, so you may not necessarily privy to get everybody,
right?
But you need to have some kind of system in place where communication is doing, especially in that ever-changing environment. That makes sense. That's a good question.
I'm good.
You know, that's a good question. With that, guys, again tonight we're talking about how to build the right team for your business. I didn't mention before. Feel free to call in. The call in number 678-740-9894. Again, the call in number is 678-740-9894. So if you're currently in business and you're thinking about getting in business and you have some kind of challenges of getting the right people in place, or you got people in place and you're like, this not working, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. So I'm gonna skip right quick to something I think, and I want to address this before I go any further with anything else in my show. What I want to just talk about is some of the basic challenges of building a team for new entrepreneurs. Okay. Nobody on the Facebook, YouTube, nobody in the comments, anything.
Not saying anything. They own that, but they're not saying.
Gotcha. So, what I want to talk about is some of the common challenges of building a team for new entrepreneurs, because a lot of people have these issues, but I want to kind of just in just bring them up and get some solutions. I think that'll help you out with it. The first one being limited budget. Startups often can have offer can't really offer competitive salaries.
That's true.
Like
very true.
I want to hire you, but I can't afford to pay you. Right. As an owner, you got to get creative. Mm-hmm. I ain't saying these are the right solution, but these are solutions. Mm-hmm. You can offer equity, you can give them flexible work conditions, or you can just give other things with growth opportunities, like a cat that solid. Like, look, man, I know you got a skill set to help me in. I might make you a manager. Mm-hmm. If I have an idea that they're cool, let me explain what I'm saying. Sometimes people, the McDonald's theory. Mm-hmm. You're making $10 an hour, but I can give you a tie and let you wear a button-down shirt and give you $10.75 or $11 an hour, but give you 3 times the responsibility.
Right.
And you're cool with it because you get to talk to the women, get the flirt,
right.
The manager.
Make the schedule.
Yeah, make the schedule.
Everybody come to you about stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
But you're making them a little bit more.
Right.
You're not getting over on nobody, but psychologically, you know what make people move. Right. Some folks just get off on titles. Right. We started talking about flexible schedule. Look, bro, I can have you in. I know you're solid, man, but I tell you what, come in, you can work, I pay you, but you ain't gotta come in like 3-4 times a week. Mm-hmm. Like, sweeten the deal for me.
Right.
I will tell you this, guys, it is so hard to get the right people. So if you can, I ain't saying say so. I'm not saying compromise in a negative way. But if you can make a good deal for them, like, hey, work with them, mm-hmm. and you try to make the pitch. Don't sit here and be catching everything they're throwing back at you. Right. Kind of get an idea, because you got to have some kind of game in you. You want to be a business owner.
That's true.
I'm just saying. So you got to kind of assess what made this person move. Mm-hmm. What do they like? Do they like money? Do they like title? Do they like freedom? Do they want autonomy? Mm-hmm. What do they want? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do they want to be able to go to their kids' game? They got to pick the mom up from work, take the mom to the doctor every week, whatever, right? So you find that sweet spot. Right. I tell you what, that cool with me. Right. Go take mom to to appointment. Right. I know you got to pick your baby up at 3 from when school let out. You you got to do the aftercare. Go on and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Work with them, not against them. Okay. Right.
How do you feel about interns?
I
said paid interns. What you do with paid interns? I guess I don't like having unpaid interns.
Well. To that point, I don't think it's that bad even with an unpaid intern. You just got to make sure you interview them well. Okay. And then we'll get into that. But I think it's a good thing. Okay. Not only this is a nugget that I ain't have wrote down. A lot of your colleges and universities have in the business schools, they'll have projects. Just say if you need, just say you want to assess how social media advertising will work on work for you. Because I remember this when I was at grad school at Clay State. A lot of businesses can come and just say you have a project like, we need to know how much it'll cost us to get a social media manager. Uh-huh. How much will it benefit us if we get this new machine in the back for burgers or shakes? And the schools will let their grad school or undergrad students take that project on and do that and bring it back to you free of charge.
For credit.
Yeah, for credit. Like that can be most business schools have that. It's just a nugget with doing that, you know. So small business owners, that's something you can go to your local universities and do that. Then you got a lot of kids that are actually smart, thriving, and they might come in with, you know, the takeover stuff. I want to do it this way. I'm in college, but you can get that shit out in the street too.
Right.
But so those are, you know, you know, you can get unpaid. You just got to scrutinize when you're hiring them.
Okay.
What we got here, Six Redbone says, giving them a title. Folks are big on titles. I agree. Coco Cake said, great ideas. I think a lot of times you got to just, as a business owner, you got to think outside the box. What you might think is stupid might be a great idea to somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because remember, guys, you ain't hiring you.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like I said, you got to be able to assess what make that person move. You got to ask, you know, just like in dating, what you like, what you don't like, what's this, that, and that.
What's your passions? What's your hobbies?
If you like that person enough, you getting your lie together. Right? I like that too. Yeah. So you got to sit here and just say to yourself, find out what make a move. Not that you're gonna lie to them, but you can kind of say, okay, well, look, I can't give you this, can't pay you this, but I can
provide it. Talk about softball tournaments, softball practices, and all that stuff. Well, I can let you off every Saturday, Sunday, so you go to church and be with your grandma on the weekend.
Exactly. Well, a person that probably can pay them is not going to be as flexible as you, right?
Right.
Another thing is,
hey, mom.
Hey, mom, what's going on? What's going on? Another big thing when we start talking about some of the challenges of building a team for entrepreneurs is inexperience in hiring. New entrepreneurs may struggle to evaluate effectively, and that's what I'm gonna keep thing. Like, you know, I understand. I think this is crucial, because it's one thing to work a job, and it's one thing to kind of even been a manager, but a lot of times people have not hired people. And the stuff we just said, like, they seem cool. That's just like when you get, you know, when you show a rental property to a potential tenant. Everybody, you know, I done heard it all. You know, like a godly man. You go to church and fill out the damn application. I want to hear that shit. Like all them dispositions and repos, sit on that,
and lean.
Yeah, exactly. Those that's a huge thing, because a lot of people that get new in the business, they're not familiar with hiring. Hiring people, you know, man, that stuff right there is challenging. It is very challenging, because in your mind you think you got the right person and you feel good because y'all had a good conversation, but because you don't know what question to ask or which way to drive everything, that's where you miss out on. And I think a lot of people, I believe that a lot of people they get into business, they don't, you know, that hurts them a lot.
Do you think when it comes to the hiring process, a lot of entrepreneurs, because they are busy, they're trying to build a business and grow and scale their business, they may go through 2 applicants and hire the second one, not even, you know what I'm saying, not even question them. They just need to get somebody in the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need somebody. I just need a body. I'm doing 7 things. I need somebody to take one so I can do 6 things.
Well, you're desperate, you're gonna make desperate moves.
Right.
And that's your real talk, right? So that's why, you know, the way to fix that, though, you know, you got to try to find you some OGs and some mentors to help you out. You know, if you can even go to some, you know, other agencies like the SBA or SCORE, where you can kind of get some kind of mentorship and guidance on how to hire people, right? You cannot try to do something that crucial, because hiring the wrong person can destroy your business. You know what I'm saying? They can mess up stuff with your customers. They can steal your money. They can destroy your business after they leave and all that kind of stuff. So it's very crucial. So try to get some kind of advice, OG, mentorship and everything to kind of help you with doing that. You know, and there are agencies out there we can do it. You just got to make sure, again, guys, Rome wasn't built in one day. And a lot of times in business, the detriment to a lot of entrepreneurs is their impatience. We ain't got time to wait for that. Nah, we need to do this, then we need to do that now.
No, you don't. Impatience or desperation sometimes.
Well, most of the time it's impatience. Impatience causes desperation.
Okay.
Your ass couldn't wait.
Okay.
And now you done sit here and went through your money. Now you got this demand coming. And now you're desperate. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you can just, because here's the deal, man. Once you start assessing everything, you're looking at what you need for a business. Stick at the general part. Well, this is what we need to start. But this is what we need to function. It's what we need to start. It's what we need to function. they leave the function part alone and come and just look. I'll come back to that later because
what I need started.
Exactly. Let me get started, and I'll figure that out later.
Right.
Now I understand that once you get knee deep into it, you don't have time to take care of the function stuff, and now you out here trying to.
And it's falling apart as you go. You fixing it as you go. You fixing it as you go.
Exactly. You put Band-Aid on busted pipes, and it's squirting and stopping and popping back up, and you can't do it.
Yeah.
That when things aren't necessarily going to be a barrier to start, people don't really take it as serious.
Let's Talk America Radio says, great topic. Any tips on how to screen for trustworthy team members? Some entrepreneurs are skeptical with hiring staff who may very well leave out staff who may very well leave out with the company's special winning sauce. Get what I'm saying? Like, if you hire somebody, let's say you own a restaurant, like Let's Talk American Radio, say that you have a restaurant and it's your mama's chicken recipe, like we talked before when we first started this show, and they know that you gave them the recipe and they left with it and started their own business.
Yeah, you don't share things that people that are not vested should know. That's just real talk.
Right.
That's why, you gotta, if you start a franchise and you got a secret thing, it need to be already packaged. You're like, I ain't got time to do that. Well, don't do it.
Right.
Like you have to make sure that people that know certain things are vested.
And even when vested people, you can't be sure that they're not going to take the formula that especially they see as a great formula and it's moving the needle, that they're not going to take that formula and go somewhere with it anyway. Well, you have CEOs leave companies and start other companies. I mean, it just.
Well, you got NDAs and stuff like that where you can just say, okay, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. But I will say this, that you got to be kind of careful with certain information because you can't protect everything, right? And we feel like sometimes our secret flower and all this is my grandmom stuff, like to your point.
Right.
But a lot of time, people can kind of they can figure stuff out, right? I think the best thing you need to focus on, if it's some things like that are secrets, you can have your NDAs, but you need to make sure again that only certain people can know certain stuff, right? Because our ideas are not as unique as we think they are. Oh man, you stole my idea, you did this, that, and that. Man, nah, that shit. Man, people, you thought about that person just put it in the work
and got done.
Or they did it better than what you could do.
Right.
And I think sometimes people don't want to come to that reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would just say, from a legal standpoint, you do your NDAs, but for the most part, try to be very, very selective on who knows certain stuff.
Let's Talk American Radio say, but as a team grows, one has to share some vital information. That's the process for some. And then Let's Talk American Radio say, but the court process can take years. You're talking about NDAs and stuff like that. When you sign an NDA and the person go ahead and start something anyway, you got to take them to court.
Cause doing business.
Right. Oh, okay.
Right? I mean, what can you do?
Right.
What can you do? At the end of the day, like, you take my recipe, you can start your own thing. I would hope that you like pooches good enough to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever I'm delivering, if it's the food, the experience, or whatever. But it's a lot of people here make Tangy Ranch chicken. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying.
Like, you just can't get stuck on that, right? That's the thing about it, dog. But it's the reason most of the times people don't, lose stuff because people stole something from them. People lose stuff because they didn't do a good job of retention. Okay, that's what I feel about that.
We was watching we was watching something on TV, me and Slick, and it was a court show, and they were suing each other because the one cousin had gave the grandma's chicken recipe to somebody else, and the one cousin used the chicken recipe to win fried chicken contest. And the other cousin said, "Well, I didn't know that it was a family secret." And she's like, "Well, it's grandma's recipe. It is a family secret." And then she's like, "Well, but you didn't say it was like strictly for family." You get what I'm saying? Like, I just told her to add some paprika. That's all I said. And she like, "But you weren't supposed to do that." And the judge was like, "Well, technically, a person adds paprika to a seasoning. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're giving out the whole recipe. She just told her to add paprika. So it's not really giving out the recipe, especially if someone else knows it. It wasn't specifically given to you for keeping. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of times people go into business, they have a great service, but they're not really built for competition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just how it is.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of people, like I said, our ideas and things are not as unique as I think they are.
We're not a monolith. There's a lot of people that like us.
Absolutely. Coco Cake 76 says, what advice would you give to a small business that has to relocate to another state as far as rebuilding clientele? I would just say at the end of the day, if you got to rebuild, relocate to another state, you got to get your clientele together. I would say I would do as much investigating or prospecting prior to the move.
I was just about to say that.
To get the lay of the land and get the temperature, because one region may like fried, another region may like baked, another region may like broiled, another one may like, just stuff almost raw, right? So you have to get the lay of the land, because what you're trying to do may not necessarily fit there. And then from that point, be able to make the adjustments.
That's like moving to a state, and going and apply for jobs first before you move there. You're gonna have to have a job to live that state. You want to stay in that state, but you need a job. So you go to the state first, visit, apply for some jobs, hope to get some prospect, and then move. Yeah,
you got to kind of have an idea, because your vision, what you're trying to do, and it may be unique there, but it also, I will have, you still have the stuff you want to do, but have some things to help you transition with it. With doing it. That's probably the best advice I'll give to somebody. Again, guys, tonight's show, we're talking about how to build the best, how to build the right team for your business. And we're just going through a couple things in regards to some of the challenges of building a team. And lastly, just that cultural misalignment, hiring for skills without considering there can be a cultural fit can lead to some kind of discord. If you got somebody that really, you might have a work environment that you guys are pounding. Y'all work. And somebody that want to sit there and kudu matata, they ain't going to fit in.
Right.
If you got an environment where people hit the door, hey, welcome to such and such, welcome to such and such, and you got somebody, I don't really like talking to people. They won't fit with your culture. You need to make sure, that you put a priority when you interview these people. How do you feel about this? Do you like speaking to people? Because some folks don't. That don't make you wrong,
right?
But you're just not gonna be a good fit for this,
right? So this is all that people face. This is all day.
How many times do you feel some type of way you walk up into a spot, nobody ain't saying shit to you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You have to walk out and walk back in. Like, let me tell you,
they ain't saying nothing, right? And so you gotta have folks like, well, man, they ain't said nothing. And then you got folks sitting on the damn phone all the time. And you sitting there looking like, hey, shit.
They ain't say welcome to Mo's to me when I walked in this door. Let me go back out.
You got to make sure, guys, that they have, that they're, that stuff works. And you really find most of that stuff really when you're doing that, the interview process. You got to make sure that you're trying to find that particular stuff out. Okay. I can't stress that to you enough. Okay. Again, tonight's show, we're talking about how to build the right team for your business. How to build the right team for your business. This is what I'm about to say, change the line. This is the dollar. I am Deonte Burden. Feel free to call in if you want to add to the conversation. The call-in number 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. So if you have to leave, you just came in, you want to check the show out in its full entirety, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, check out the full show, along with all the other 1,000 videos on the YouTube channel. Okay. So with that said, we're going to talk a little about some of the challenges, basic thing, what it is in regards to having the right team. A couple things I want to give you guys, some of the qualities to look for in your first couple hires, right? Some things you need to look for. Number one, you want to make sure that their passion alignment goes in regards to what you're trying to do. Like I was kind of saying before, if you need people that like, look, I don't even want y'all talking or whatever, I just need your ass working, come in, face to the dirt working, cool. If you need people being happy, friendly, this, that, and that, you need to look for that.
Right.
Like they're not going to mix with it. And here's the good thing with it, right? Not a good thing, but the different thing we got to keep in mind, different assets and different facets of your business may require a different kind of person. Production may necessarily need folks that just going to work.
Right.
The actual, your people that may be dealing with customer service and stuff like that, they may need more people-friendly people, right? But you need to make sure that, their passion aligns with what you're trying to do. Adaptability, guys. I'm telling you guys, you got to make sure when you hire your first couple of people, stuff happens. And it ain't when stuff happens. It's not if stuff happens, it's when stuff happens. And you need to have people that What we gonna do? They call you, hey, we ran out of paper. Or the power went out.
Power went out. Yeah.
You know, you call me for the, you know, you got to make sure you got people that can damn think. Now, if it's somebody, if it's a position where they ain't got to do nothing all day, got it.
Right.
Got it. You know who to put there. You got your little radio right there.
Right.
But if you got, most of the time, you need to have people that can actually adapt and adjust to stuff like that. You got to have folks that willing to learn new stuff and everything. We talking about getting your new hires, right? Now again, you adjust, depending what you need to do, but you need to be kind of looking at getting people in place that they can think on their damn own. Hey, listen, I got to go to the bathroom, but the door locked. Did you go look for the key?
Right.
Where it is? What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was tight right there.
Yeah. Shit. That's a lot of tight.
That's a lot of tight.
You're like, hey man, you think I'm thinking?
Right.
Just having, say common sense, but just something that really more so not common sense, but they actually can pivot and adjust, not so stuck when certain things happen. Because you're not going to be available to fix a lot of small problems. You might have this threshold. Look, somebody coming in and want to make a purchase over this dollar amount, call me. If it's this kind of like, you guys are working on basic stuff, changing the fluids on the car, changing the tires, maybe fixing, a little knob. But when it comes to anything major transmission, the motor and stuff, you got to get some kind of extra authorization. So, but you want them to have people where they can actually think, right? Pivot and adjust. We start talking about those qualities you want for your first hire. Get some people with some kind of skills, expertise, identify the gaps in your own skill set, and how those people, like we said before, to fill those gaps.
So Slick says, but who likes micromanaging? I guess you was talking about people making sure that the people are adaptable. She said, who likes micromanaging though?
Well, that's depending on what it is. Sometimes you need folks. You might be in a position where you got to have somebody on their shoulder.
Okay.
On their shoulder, right? Okay. Especially if I'm talking about like a quality control standpoint, or we're looking at certain things. But that's why I say it depends on where you're at. But even with doing it, you hopefully you got people that can adjust. Like I said, to that point, hey, this pen ain't working right. Or did you look and draw? See, it was another pen. We don't have the pen. Again. And we laugh about this shit later, but it happens. So
it happens a lot.
You got to make sure, and make sure they got some kind of problem solving abilities. Like I said, they not stuck at, this didn't happen or whatever. Like, hey, the customer came back and stuff like that. How can we resolve it, ma'am? Assert at their level. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I do this, that, and that? Well, I'm just tripping. Well, how about we just put a little bit more oil in there, right? Instead of just like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. How many times that you done had this irate person at the fast food stuff, this, that, and that? Well, man, how can we make it right? Now, I can't give you money back.
Right.
I can give you some more fries and this, that, and that. I can't do that.
Right.
But can we resolve that? Now, they might get ignorant or whatever, this, that, and that. You got to go to the mountain to get with it, go to a higher level. But certain things we can do stuff to make stuff right. Well, we don't have to, just adjust, right? Because again, everybody has that little authorization point where they can't go further than that. But then you have some people that to the point, like, you call them by the car, like, hey, look, how can I make this right? I know I did this wrong and stuff like that. What can we do this, that, and that? But now we can't. That's not acceptable.
Exactly.
That's not acceptable because at the end of the day, what we talk about the things that are most important to people: family, health, and money.
Right.
And most time, money comes before the other ones, right? Because so you got to make sure that when people choose to spend their money and spend their time with you, you got to make sure you over deliver, right? Coco K says right, because common sense ain't common. Absolutely not. But the thing of it is what I deem might be common sense, next person might not. So I want to be kind of careful with that.
Right.
But I will say that's why I kind of want to stress having people that can process and think on their own. Like you're in a, you got people that can actually that really look, man, what we trying to do, I can't stand over you. I can't be in your damn face all the time. So I need you to be able to fix some of this stuff. This is what you can and can't do. Get past that. But this kind of shit, fix that.
Right.
Like, don't call me about that kind of stuff.
Right.
Because you gotta be, if you can't fix it, I need to get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I had situations where property manager and one of my care folks staying in my property. Your cousin said this, your cousin said that. Look, that's my cousin. You the property manager. Do I need to get another property manager?
Right. That's simple.
That's simple.
Yeah.
Say less. Let's go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of put stuff like that. Because my cousin should be doing no shit.
Right.
You know, putting you in no position like that. You know what I'm saying?
Place.
You know, that's how it is. You know,
Let's Talk American Radio says, unfortunately, talented team members often don't stay long. Potential too high. They get recruited by bigger, able to pay more.
I mean, that's how it is. Over the years, man, I had some solid people that have left. Some came back, some leave again and stuff like that. That's part of it. But your system should be able to perform. And you got to justify, and we're going to go over something in a second. I think will help with that. But people going to leave.
The pressure test.
Yeah. You know, that's
stress test that system.
Yeah, that's it. People gonna leave, so you can't really trip too tough on that.
I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. When I was getting my MBA, the professor said your business should be your stress testing on your business should be so good that you can be down to one person that's still supposed to run like a machine. That's what he said. Now I don't know if that necessarily has happened to anybody, but you're supposed to stress test your business, you know, at least once a year to see if it can handle certain things, if it can handle, you know, if you have 5 employees and 3 of them walk out that day, if you can still function. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what he said anyway.
Ideally, some things can be a detriment, but for the most part, I think every business should be designed where it's plug and play. Whereas, even though I know Lab come to the table with a skill set that only Lab has, but he makes things here. But as far as a functioning standpoint, it should be plug and play. You ain't here today. Let me take on what's going on.
Right.
You know, me being an accountant, when I leave notes or have things filed a certain way, not that works for me, any other accountant, like their standards, should be able to walk in. Okay, so your previous accountant, this is what they did. It's plug and play,
right?
Because the standard is set. When you operate in your business, it's plug and play. Some people you can't, you know, they're going to, because of their talent and experience, they're going to do more. But the basic to make you do well, it should be plug and play.
Yeah.
And you create that system to do that. The last thing, while I was talking about the quality of the first hire, the last one is, you know, you got to make sure you got somebody that's a team player. We're going to have some position where you don't necessarily need to deal with people, but you got to make sure you got people that can deal with other folks, can deal with criticism, can deal with coaching, can deal with the truth, can deal with setbacks, be able to adjust. You got to make sure you get folks that's a team player. If you hire folks for a position where they're going to be totally autonomous, where they're working by themselves, that's fine. But if you know, like, hey, listen, I don't want to talk to them. I just want to work by myself. How many times have you seen somebody work with somebody? I can't do this right now. I just got to stop and think.
Yeah, lots.
What are you here for? Like, look, we got shit going on, right? You know, that's we ain't got time to get your damn head together. This ain't that place.
Nervous breakdown.
Yeah, this ain't that place.
Right.
No. We got to get this stuff done.
Right.
Not when you can sit there, you got too many people talking to you. You know, if you're in an environment where you got boom, 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 you got to be able to deal with it, right? If you're just dealing with people where it's one task at a time, that's fine. But do not get a person that can only do one task at a time in the boom, boom, boom position, right?
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do that. You will make everything explode, right? Because they just can't handle it. That's why we're gonna do that, right?
Right.
They
can't multitask.
To them or your business, right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So if that person knows how to juggle 5 or 6 balls at a time, listen, they're getting one damn ball, so they sit on their damn desk. That don't mean they don't have value.
Right.
You just don't need to have them in a position that requires it.
Right.
You know, you got to make sure that that's very, very, very smart to do that, because I shouldn't have certain kind of expectation from a person that really ain't got the ability to be doing that kind of stuff.
And I knew better.
Exactly.
As the owner of this business, as the entrepreneur, I knew better because we've already had the discussion with him. But I'm doing it anyway because I'm panicking and I need somebody in that spot. Let's Talk American Radio says great point, but that depends on the labor pool. The pool today is the pool of 20 years ago.
I mean, let me say this. What you have is what you have.
Right.
So we can say, I don't have these people to do that, and I don't have that, you know, doing it. At the end of the day, you can make adjustments accordingly if you need something that's going to require a lot of technical expertise, but you don't have that around, you got to make the adjustments from there.
You got to play chess.
Yeah, so it's not.
Got to play chess.
You know, if I got to, I can have my plan together, but if I got to hire people from the Philippines to do it, I'm just saying, you can make
people do. Companies do that all the time.
But in general, the process we'll try to do that's that. But you can't. What you have is what you have. That's the thing about it. And regardless of who you get from, you still going to have these basic principles in place.
The job pool changes, and Let's Talk American Radio says it's not. They meant the pool today is not the pool of 20 years ago. But I think the job pool and the employee mentality changes generation to generation.
Yeah,
what I'm saying, like, whereas our parents, you work there 35 years, you retire, get a gold watch, and you get a pension, and you good. We don't do that because that pension's probably not that. So we don't want to be stuck at one place. We want to learn as much as possible. Whereas the new generation, they like, I'm not gonna work there for 5 minutes if I don't feel comfortable. You get what I'm saying? Like, it changes.
That's why it's so important to know what makes somebody move. Like I say, is it money? Is it titles? Is it whatever it is? And if that particular thing requires, we start talking about building a team, you got a certain number of them already that you need. You need to look for more of those. If you can't find them, kind of make some adjustment and you got to be able to pivot and adjust with certain stuff. But every labor pool gonna be different. You just have to know what are the motivators for that particular group you have in conjunction with what you're trying to do.
Right.
Not gonna be perfect.
Right.
We ain't unless you in Thailand, you run a damn sweatshop and everybody need money. We in the damn diamond mines in Nigeria, and we just they just gotta go to work. They don't no choice. We in America. Yeah, people be free thinking and this, that, and that. You just got to be savvy enough to understand. Like, look, man, I understand that. I do that. I can't do certain things. You got to be able to pivot and adjust.
Yeah, you just got to move the pieces on the board to in the way you need them to be.
That's it.
And the main objective of the board is to protect me, the entrepreneur, in my business. So you got to move them pieces around and you know what I'm saying, get the rooks and the pawns and the bishops in the right places.
To your point, Chevy, Fortune 500 company. It's not to believe they got some assholes working now. Right. Just like at Apple, just like at Microsoft, just like at General Electric. They got some people there that don't need to be there. Right. Everybody at IBM is not a good fit for IBM. Right. So we try to sit here and have a structure, and some folks gonna stay, some folks can cause a problem. Well, hopefully the system is greater, and it can kind of than a person and pop them out sooner than later, right? But it happens.
The wheel keeps spinning, and that car pop up, and that wheel keeps spinning.
Yeah,
that's how you want your business to run.
Absolutely. Again, guys, tonight's show we're talking about how to build the right team for your business. Again, how to build the right team for your business. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Remember, the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube channel. Where if you have to leave, it just came in, want about what the hell we're talking about, you can always go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, check out the show in its full entirety from there, along with all the other great information and videos that we have there as well. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to give you guys a process to hire. I told you some things to look for, but I'm going to give you a process. You saying, listen, I want to hire people. Let me get my notes. I gave you things to kind of look for to make sure they're a good fit. Now I'm going to give you a basic process to kind of to go through. Number one, guys, this is very, very important. Very, very important. And this is when you hire, and this is where a lot of times people don't want to take time out. They just want to hire people and do what you do, do this, do that, whatever. You need to make sure, number one, we're talking about again, the process of hiring the right people, you define their role very clearly. Right? Detailed job description, job description, and including the responsibilities and expectations. What you don't want to have somebody say, well, I didn't know. You didn't tell me. I didn't know I was doing all that. Right. And it happens. Why? Because people hire people and tell them something, and then go back to what Coco K said earlier, common sense. Like, damn, you ought to figure that. You ought to know that. I can't assume that.
Right.
I can't assume that.
We can't assume that.
I can't assume that. Right. But you read this. You see that.
Read the job description.
What the key thing with this is, like, we start talking about this, you got to take time. You got to take time. And if you don't have time, go to Fiverr, go to Upwork, Chat GPT. You got so many things in place that we can help you define these roles for people. Look it over, make the adjustments from it and stuff like that. But you have to make sure that people know exactly what they're supposed to do and what you expect from them. You have to do that. The next thing you got to make sure you prioritize those networks that you have and stuff. We're talking about hiring the right people. Reach out to folks. You know this person, you know that person, how you feel about them and stuff. And you heard this guy. Hey guys, if y'all know some solid, electricians, where would I normally go? Go to this place. Now, I don't necessarily need you referring your cousin, but where would I actually go? Hey, go down to this place. These schools, they got these kind of people. They are licensed in this, that, and that. Check this out. Hey, this is already like a organization. They have these certain things. Lean on that network to kind of get some people to help you go through all that. What was that, lad?
That was your phone.
That was my phone.
Oh, you.
Oh, okay. That's good. Make sure, guys, you conduct thorough interviews, right? When you do thorough interviews, what I would do is ask scenario-based questions. If you have two people walk in and one person's irate, they cussing you out and stuff like that, and they said, hey, listen, y'all out of stuff, what would you do? And like I said before, sometimes you say, look, I ain't gonna necessarily give them that's my phone.
It's gotta be.
Oh, thought it's come from here.
Nah, that's speaking out.
Oh, they all off. But anyway, you might say, well, look, I can't give you the refund back, but I can do this. I can give you some credit on this, credit on that. Ask scenario-based questions to see how they think, how they will handle stuff, or they just avoid things, right? You got to kind of Coco K said, I'm learning, Poochie. I appreciate it. But those kind of things where you got to kind of just ask folks stuff, because the basic would you steal? Would you do this? Would you do that? Nobody. I don't know. Well, I've heard some people just tell the truth, but for the most part, if you ask scenario-based questions, this person came in and they said that they paid this, but they no longer they didn't get all their change back. How would you handle the question? How would you handle that situation? Put stresses on people. Put stresses on them to kind of just say, okay, cool. Now the ball in your court to kind of figure out certain stuff. And now you can see and say, okay, I can trust them with certain. That's some scenario-based question to gauge their problem solving, how they adapt to certain situations, right? Stuff happens, right? What was that with it? You want to make sure that you're really letting them know how the culture is, how your vision is, and stuff like that. Can people buy into? And look, we're a team here. We're a family, right? How do y'all feel about these certain things? And you want to just kind of get an idea of how they feel about it. Some people want freedom. Some people don't want nobody saying that to them. You want to make sure they're gonna be a good fit for the culture.
Let me ask you a question real quick while we're talking about that. Why you just said, we're a family here. Do you think that a new entrepreneur just coming up trying to grow his business should get into the habit of making the employee feel like family, like we are family? Because sometimes that can have a negative effect on people. You know what I'm saying? We family. Now they come in late. They're supposed to be at 2. They come in at 3:30. It's cool, man. He love me. We family. I'm gonna be good. He out with his friends and like, don't you about to work at 2? He's like, no, we family, man. You know what I'm saying? They start taking advantage of the family part of the conversation.
I don't think that's wrong with it. If you share to them what your vision of family is.
Okay.
My vision of family is not your ass coming in or you taking advantage of the situation.
Right.
My advantage family is that we working together, we got each other back. But that's not my vision of what family is.
Okay.
As long as you give a clear vision and message of what that is, I don't think that's wrong with it. Okay. Right? You know what I'm saying? Just the same way if I feel like we strictly business. I don't give a damn about your family. I don't give a damn about your health. Right. Like as long as you understand it. Well, my son had a game. Damn about your son game. Right. Like you need to really relay. We're not that place. Right. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. But people need to know that
where they stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not legal that you got to let people know, but I think it'd be advantageous to your business because that way that alleviates you having productivity issues, turnover issues, things like that. If people have a good idea what they're walking into, folks can lie because folks need work. Right. People can lie because they need employees. Right. And everything like that. But I think it behooves you to be straight up with people about those particular things. Coco K says, I don't have any employees just yet. I'm a one-woman show for now. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, you're doing the best thing possible. You're acquiring knowledge. Right. And I appreciate you tuning in with doing that. Start off with small commitments. Again, we're talking about the process of hiring your first team. Start off with small commitments. You can consider freelance and part-time roles to evaluate a fit before you offer a full-time role. And kind of like, similar to the 90-day probation period. But you might say, well, look, come in a couple days a week, come in and do this for a couple hours. Let me just see whatever. That way they can you can get a temperature gauge of them. They can get a temperature gauge of what's going on. Right. So that we can work that. But kind of you just start off small with doing it. You can also invest in onboarding, where you can create a process of new hires, visions, and workflows, where you have that whole thing set up, which I'm a big proponent of. You got the whole intake process set up from the training, the da. We got it. Yeah. They already
know where they're supposed to be.
When a person works for me in the tax business, I have the whole map out from the walking in the door, the intake. What you think that lady lab? I'm hearing the noise, but I ain't seeing that.
Ain't nobody giving you hearts or something like that on TikTok? That's TikTok?
I got the phone on. But it's not on ring, but that don't mean
that the notifications are still on.
Okay.
Yeah, the notifications are still on.
Okay, cool. The when you walk into the tag, somebody working there, they know from the door intake, filling out the paperwork. When they go to this desk, then go to that desk, process. Then if you're going to shoot to the IRS, to the bank, everything's done. The system structure, how the process works.
Plug and play.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You know that there is no place. So if you're working here today, this is what you do. You're working there today, this is what you do. When you come in to work, when you want to potentially work, you got to do these, fill this, that, and that. Then from a training standpoint, you got to do this, that, and that. Right? Everything's there for you. Questions, whatever. And you create that kind of system, whereas now I'm not involved. One thing entrepreneurs, you guys need to know. This is just a free tidbit. Your business is going to be the most valuable, the least your ass have to deal with it. That's why we see franchise, the Burger Kings, the McDonald's, and all of them. Hey, little bit, my sister, hey, big head. Appreciate you and them. Sister just came in. That's why you see people when they sell a McDonald's or Wendy's and stuff like that. The value stays the same. Why? Because you don't need me to run it.
Right.
But if it's Poochie's Rib Shack and everybody like Poochie, I come in there, hug everybody, take a picture with the baby. The business doesn't have that same value. Why? Because there's a good sense that a lot of people come in
because of Poochie.
Yeah, the experience Poochie gives.
Right.
But if it's something that had nothing to do with me, that's why I was able, even with my salon and stuff like that, the value was there because nobody knew I owned it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody know I owned it. My tax business, the Majestic Accounting, no one knows I own it.
Right.
Majestic Business Service, everybody know Deonte owned it.
Right.
So it's not as valuable as somebody coming in because people want to come down. Hey man, let me talk to D. Now I want to talk to Deonte. Right. That Majestic Accounting, which is the cloud base where we have most of the people working, that's different because I can sell that.
Right.
Nobody know who the hell on it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's autonomous.
Exactly. So those are things I think people need to kind of keep in mind when you start looking at even what's your business. Okay. Again, today we're talking about how to build the right business for your team, how to build the right team for your business. Let me slow my head down. How to build the right team for your business. Been a long week. Long week. And I want to wrap everything up. We're talking about some things I think is very important. Kind of alluded to some of the questions we had earlier. And that's how to retain and motivate your team, right? How to retain and motivate your team. Because one thing to get good people in is another thing to keep them, right? Because that is hard to do, just like customers, right?
Right.
So when you get people in, you want to make sure that they love your organization, love your business. They can over deliver service and product to people and make you more money. So the key thing with retaining and motivating your team, foster a positive culture. Make sure you encourage open communication, collaboration, right? That shit dumb. Nobody want to hear that. Shut the hell up. It's not going to work. Make people feel important. Make people, again, now I'm not saying everybody need to have an opinion in regards to certain times, but you need to make folks feel respected where they can get their opinion. We might not have time for it when we in the motion. We doing it.
Right.
Now we have our next meeting. Hey man, feel free to get that in and just reiterate to people, bro. This ain't the time. We can talk about it. Right now we need to do. We can't talk right now.
Right.
But make sure you foster that kind of communication, collaboration. Provide growth opportunities. Invest in training, mentoring, and career advancement. I understand. We just started off. We small. We can't do all that kind of stuff right now and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you as the business owner need to have something in place where to make people feel good about I'm just not this minion and I don't mean anything to people, right? We need to make sure we kind of foster that kind where people feel like they can grow, they can make some kind of input. Exactly, right?
But people who feel like they're minions will quit and destroy your company quicker than bad reviews.
Exactly. Recognize achievements, celebrating the milestones, acknowledge individual contributions. I'm gonna say this too. One thing about it, I've been in spots where you hear people say, "Damn, bro, you keep going on my damn back every damn time something go wrong. You ain't never noticed. You ain't never said nothing about this, that, and that." And I remember I had a supervisor one time say, "Well, look, when you took this job, you didn't say you're gonna take the job so you can get pats on the back or get recognition. You say you need a job to work."
Right.
That's right. But it also as a business owner, from the other side of it is too. Folks get tired of that shit. Folks get tired of getting, not recognized, whatever. So just human psychology. Make folks feel good. Do you have to do that? No. But would it help you to do it? Absolutely.
Will it make your business better and stronger later on? Yeah. I'll give you a good example. I had a supervisor when I worked at shopping centers. I managed shopping centers. Not mean to cut you off. I had a supervisor, and they would do performance reviews, and he would do performance reviews for me. And I'm like, why am I score so low? He's like, well, I don't want to give you a performance review, but I will never give you a perfect score because then you feel like you don't have room to grow. I'm like, what?
Damn idiot. It's crazy that saying, how many people can be in a leadership situation, tell people that.
Right.
But you want to make people feel good. If people feel good, they feel like they're a part of something. They don't own it. I remember I worked at John Wheeler Homes. That was my first job when I got in the Army. Now I was in college and stuff like that, so I knew I was going to stay in the damn warehouse. But that was one of the few times, and I'm even looking at myself right now just being an entrepreneur. That was one of the few times it was fun to go to work. Like we go there, we're in the warehouse, we picking up wood and stuff like that with the OGs. We leave from there, go to Maddox Park, throw horseshoes,
right.
It was like a real cool environment where I didn't mind getting up going to work every day.
Right.
And that's the kind of stuff, because what happens is extreme productivity. The people cool.
They feel good.
And you got to kind of just make sure you kind of foster. Think about that when you're fostering that kind of stuff. You need to make sure ensure work-life balance for your people. Create an environment for values and productivity and well-being. Like I said, make not necessarily even feeling good by being at work. If you can, like, hey, give people opportunity, like we said earlier, to make sure their family's straight. Make sure your health straight. You know what I'm saying? Give incentives about, with health insurance or this, that, and that, or allow people to do certain things. You got to think. I understand going back. Entrepreneur, new business, entrepreneur budget, new business budget.
Right.
I understand a lot of shit you can't afford. I get it. But we got to think outside the box to give some kind of incentives to make people feel good, make people move when we're doing that. You just can't hang that iron fist shit where if you don't like it, leave.
Right.
Okay. And then you stuck you over and over again doing that. You got to think outside the box. We got Rich Rocker. What's up, cuz? Exactly what me and Pops go through sometimes, that they only want to see us clean. One, because it says go to commercial service. Two, we normally do it the first few months until we find someone. Even if our employees doing good, they still like to see me or Pops go in. And that's the thing about it. With that said, then because gaming, like you just saying, like, well, that company was a janitorial company. Like sometimes people just want to see you there. The hard part about it is, like I say, you there, like, man, we might be producing X amount of dollars here. We're making we're making 100,000, $500,000, $1 million and stuff like that. But it's still a hard sale if I want to sell at the lab. Why? Man, these folk like you.
Right.
I walk in there the next day, whatever.
I'm the new boss. They all quit.
They tripping. And they quit or they're not renewing my contract.
Right.
And it
happens all the time.
It happens all the time, man.
Me as a property manager, being over a lot of properties at one time, I've let go of contracts because of that. I like Mr. Steven, I had an electrician, great guy, great, one of the best guys. He passed away. His son took over the business. I didn't renew his contract. I didn't like the way his son was. I kept him on because of
Mr.
Steve.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I'm not saying that's the wrong way, but I am saying keep in mind your expectations of how certain things are. And because again, if you fully engaged, people coming to you because you part of it, that's great. But if you say, okay, I want to sell it later on, it's difficult. I threaten that shit with my sons all the time, but I know in the back of my head, it's not. I think I can sell it, but I can't sell it what I want. My book of business. Why? Because I know a lot of people come because of Deonte.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying my way is wrong. It's worked for me, but it may not necessarily be the best strategy if I look to transition off somebody like that. So just got to kind of think outside the box. Look, man, it's been an awesome show. We had a great conversation and everything. What we talked about again, building how to build the right team for your business. I think we gave some good information, got some great questions, but everybody came in. But listen, if you just came in at the end of the show or anything, remember, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Again, Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Check out this whole show in its full entirety, along with all the other great information. Remember, guys, we got an active grants playlist with over 150 different grant opportunities on the YouTube channel. We have videos covering on finances, business operation, business management, all that great stuff on the YouTube channel. We just hit that 75K, so if you haven't, make sure you go to the YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, man. Got a lot of great information coming out. Tax season right around the corner. If you guys have any questions in regards to how to fill out some tax forms, 1099s, 1040, Schedule A, B, C, D, and E, go to Mr. Showdown on YouTube. I got walkthrough tutorials on how to fill those forms out. With doing it, explain a lot of things in regards to taxes, and probably put the video out tomorrow or Friday. The updated tax laws and changes for 2025. That'll probably come out in the next couple of days with that. But there's a lot of great information on the YouTube channel. But I want to say again, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the love and support you guys give me over the years with growing everything and stuff like that. Can't stress that to you guys enough. Y'all take care. Be safe out there. And I will talk with you soon.